Vinney "Smile" Chopra, a man who took $7 to a portfolio of over $250 million in apartment investing. He mentors and coaches to make apartment syndication easy. Each week, he will share his expertise, tricks, trades, and golden nuggets how to master the art of syndication to bring cash flow streams to your business, to change your life for the better. Here is Mr. Smile.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Syndication Made Easy with Vinney Chopra, also known as Mr. Smiles. Mr. Smiles is one of the top syndication investor in apartment syndication in the U.S. to date. He came to this country with only $7 in his pocket, and now is worth it. He not only is able to invest, but manage over $250 million in syndications. Each week he is going to be teaching his little bit of golden nuggets on how his mastermind students, they pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this information. He's giving it to you for free on this podcast on how to take your syndication business to the next level. So without further ado, I really, really want to introduce Vinney Chopra, Mr. Smiles. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alicia. Thank you so much. It's early morning in California. Sun is shining. The day is great. Today's Wednesday. I do the master coaching also later on today, 2 hours. So I'm very excited. We're going to make it happen. Yes.
Love it. Love it. So
today, I have not heard the topic, so I'm good.
I was just going to tell you the topic.
Any notes at all. My notes are in my brain and my experience that I've done, which I live my life every day, to the fullest. So I'm very excited. Whatever the topic is, we're going to crush it.
Today, actually, Vinney, we're going to be talking about property management. So I like to surprise him with my choices of what I'm going to interview him on, because I like to get him on his toes, put the energy to good use. But today we're going to talk about property management. We may break this out into two, just because I have a lot of questions. And I know a lot of the audience has questions about property management. And yes. One of the first one is what is the role of a property manager?
Very good question. As you know, our companies, we not only do syndication acquisition, Alicia, we also manage them. I've been doing it for the last 12 years actually now. And we have 2 acquisition companies, 2 management companies. Property manager, we call also as a community manager. So like moneil premier communities, we call it, rather than apartment complex. And community manager's position is a leader. She or he is a CEO of this millions of dollars worth of asset that we hire, or we try to see when we are looking at a property, we interview the staff also. 1 month before the closing, we ask the sellers if they would like to take their staff with them, or they would like us to interview and keep the very best with our company. And they are able to then become a member of our team. So the community manager job is like a CEO or president who is looking through everything, the leasing, the retention of the residents. They are overseeing the work orders. They are also looking at the rents and the collections. They are scanning the checks, getting the money into the bank. They are the liaison between the asset, which we call as the community apartment complex, 100 units, 200, 300 units, and our accounting department. Our accounting department is separate from the property.
Okay. And so why is hiring the right property manager so important? Obviously for the obvious reasons, you always want somebody who's good, right?
Totally. The thing is, all these communities have to be mastered and managed by people with experience. So in my companies, we have always thought about we're going to get people, community managers who have 20 years of experience in that state, because the fair housing laws, the different restrictions and other stuff, we have to really abide by the rules of the housing laws and everything in that particular state. So that's what we go for, 15 to 20 years of experience. I like to hire those people. And we have HR director, who really does a great job. She's got 25 years of experience of interviewing, looking through all the background certifications and everything before we hire somebody. They have to be motivated. They have to be excited. They need to have a passion to really look at the residents of our community. We don't talk about tenants. Tenants is not a good word. Residents, they are living in a great community as residents in good school systems, making their children go and enjoy the living in that nice neighborhood.
I agree. So I want to actually talk about the interview process. How does that work? If, like, let's just say, you're going in, I want two different versions. One is how does your company do it? And B, but your company's a little bit more, but you guys have HR, you have all this stuff. But your students that are part of your academy, they don't have a full-blown company. So what would be the difference for first? So first, how do you do it? Second, how do you teach your students to do it that don't have the resources that you have grown to have?
Totally. I'm with the thinking that, okay, we did have a management company, by the way, about 12 years back. They were great, but we were spending more time at the property than they were. And they were having challenges with the personnel and everything, which is a big thing in property management, by the way, is a big thing to find the right person who's motivated, excited, who's able to, because they are the face of Moneil, like our Moneil management group. I'm not there every day. My, asset manager is not there every day. So they have to be the good ones. The key thing I would like to mention to my students is that as they are starting out, they got to work with a property management company. So there are property management companies in multifamily who are good in managing 8 units, 12 units, 15 units, 30 units, 50 units. So I like them to talk about if they're going to be buying 20-unit apartment complex or community, they should be talking to the property management companies in that neighborhood. And I have a list of 40 questions that they could ask them. So we have so many great lists that we have in the academy that our students can. And as a matter of fact, one of my students interviewed 100 companies, 100 companies.
Wow.
And they brought it down. They put it in an Excel. They wrote down all their questions and answers. And then they decided, I'm going to talk to this top 20, then top 5. And they were able to get the very best in that sub-market.
Now that's some research.
It is research, exactly. The thing is, if I may say in humbly, syndication world is great. We acquire with the pooling of the money of our friends and relatives. We have fiduciary responsibility to protect the investment of our investors. That is so important. And that breaks down to taking the day one, when we take the keys from the seller, now it's our baby. So we need to manage that asset very, very carefully to bring about the cash flows and the returns and the equity gain. And that comes from retention too, by the way, letting everybody know we are the new community, new owners. Put the banners up, let the residents know that we are there to make a difference in their lives, to make it a better place for them to live in. And we do this and that, things, all that kind of stuff. So coming back to how do we hire them? Mm-hmm. Our HR person, Erica at this time.
Erica, okay.
Well, yeah, you just met her. And, she's amazing. And we have behavioral questions. Once we have perfected our advertisements in Indeed, in local papers, also on Craigslist. It's a big, big thing on Craigslist, that people put ads. We have perfected them where our future candidates look at it. I'm able to get 20, 30, 50 resumes sent to me right away as we put the ad. It costs $35 only, but we have perfected the ads. And we don't tell them what the community is. We don't want them to get biased at all. We want to have them to look at us, who we are, and then look at our benefits and everything. We want to look at them, and then we interview through FaceTime or through Skype and all, because we are not in that area. See, we could do so much things nowadays through Zoom, like you and I. You're in Texas, I'm in California, and we are doing it, these podcast recordings like that, So finding the right person comes from the pool of several candidates. And then we narrow it down, looking at their exposure, how many jobs they have changed in the last 5 years. That's a big criteria in our company, because if they've not been able to stabilize at one location, they're not going to stay with Moneil that long either. There is something inherent in their past that's making them move. So we look for longevity, we look for experience, we look for certification, we look for how they change the community that they have been they're coming from.
Okay. So when it comes to, for you, you have an HR team, and you guys get it off of like Facebook, Indeed, and Glassdoor, wherever you guys are advertising for, and then you do a very extensive interview process. But for somebody who's a student who only has maybe 5, 10, or 20 units, and it's their first building, you would suggest them actually hiring a management team to actually handle the process for them, correct?
Totally. That is the only way to do it, because, you need to have certain number of units under your belt before you will start building the company. That's something that I'm also putting together, where the new students can actually pay a little bit money to shadow me, to see what we are doing, get our manuals, our operation manuals, employee books, which has cost us thousands of dollars. That's what I'd like to do in my academy. Give all the templates, everything that I've developed over the last 12 years, so that they don't have to do that, So it's a small investment to gain big results. The second thing I would like to say is, for the young students who are getting into 30 units, 50 units, 100 units, I tell them, get a local company. See, you got to be thinking about interviewing these property management companies way before the closing. You can't just decide, because even the lender, the bank, or the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, small business loan people, they will like to ask the students whether they have an experience in managing, and they don't. So they need to get a partnership with a company, a property management company locally, who will be able to write a contract to tell the lender, feel comfortable that they will be managing the asset. So that's only the loan will be approved. Otherwise, the loan will not be approved for the students. Yeah.
So they have to go out there, do the research. And you're telling me, like, the one, a student that you had that did 100. I don't know. I think that's a little excessive, but I love the gump that they have to do all that. And I mean, they want nothing falling at the wayside. So that's definitely somebody I want working for me.
Yes. I'm so proud of them, because now they're perfected, and they've even surpassed me. I love it because of the controls they have put in their business. They are ready to take on the world now, what I say. And I like my students to be better than me. That's what my passion is, to get millions of people around the world to learn the techniques and really understand, and then make a difference. Yeah.
No, and I completely agree. So let's just say they're doing all their research and they're trying to find a good property management team. Do you have a list of questions that you offer in your academy?
Yes, I do. 40 questions. I mean, it's not rocket science, and they could get it for free even, just to taste it, what kind of programs I have. So, they could do, like I say that, they could text the word learn, 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 or apply for mentorship at vinneychopra.com,
Yeah, no,
or text the word learn to 47447. I didn't complete that sentence.
And I'll make sure, actually, I'll put that in the notes below. I think I have it in my other show notes, so I'll make sure I have it in here, guys. So if you guys really need to you want some information, or you want to kind of get a taste of what Vinney does and what he teaches his students. And I'll be honest with you guys, if you ever have a chance to really shadow him and go on property with him and learn, take it. And I'm not doing this because, I work with him or anything like that. He doesn't pay me to say this.
No.
Have the chance thanks to his energy and just his commitment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Building,
Thank you.
Helping you build your company. It's really incredible. Take it if you get the chance. I would, and I'm not even in the syndication world, so
I'm going to convert you.
I know he's trying to convert me.
Slowly, I'm going to convert everybody. See, the world of syndication is so simple. Let me tell you, there is money flowing all around you. You have thousands, you have 12,000 LinkedIn friends, and they're all very successful people. See, the thing is, a lot of us know a lot of people around us who have money, but they don't have the time to really perfect the system, how to invest in real estate, especially in commercial real estate. And that's the world I want to change lots of people's thinking so that they could be in that world through syndication.
And we're actually going to do another video. I actually wrote down while you were talking earlier about the sphere of influence.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually do another podcast on that. I'm not sure if it's going to be in this one or this other one, which is about motivation. And so your weekly motivation power talk with Vinney Chopra.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the property management, and let's talk about setting expectations for your property management team or your property manager. And actually, I want to go into that with the team thing too. I just don't think we have enough time. Actually, I might have enough time. Go ahead with this one.
I would love to. See, each one of our communities, Moneil Premier Communities, you could even check it out. Those who are listening to me, everything I talk about is the things that we are doing. We are walking the talk every day. It's called Moneil, Moneil, moneilcommunities.com. And that's our kids' name. As you know, Monica and Neil, we combined the two to bring our brand out in the public. So the key thing is the community manager is the leader. Then comes the lead maintenance person, who is the second person reporting to the community manager. Lead maintenance person is HVAC certified. That's the heating and ventilation system, system certified. And then comes the leasing agent or the assistant manager. That's reporting to the community manager. And then there is a fourth person. We call it as a porter or a helper, Porter, porter or helper to the lead maintenance person. So there are 4 full-time team members at every community that we purchase. That's how we do. We acquire, and then they are held accountable for retention of the residents, because we want to keep the residents there. We don't want them to move. And that's going to be only if the work orders are performed in a timely manner, correctly, if there are some work orders. So lead maintenance is accountable for that. When the make readies are done, lead maintenance and the porter are accountable for move-in. For the people who are moving in, the new residents are moving in. So a community manager lets them know the schedules and so forth, so they get them ready. Leasing agent job is very important. Leasing. We got to make sure that the occupancy is at the peak, 95 to 97%. If it's 100%, it means we are selling assured. We call it, because if it's 100% occupied, our rents are lower. That's what happens at that time. Everybody's coming to that community to stay. So we try to increase the rents when we are 97% or so. And we also increase our days of opening. If we are over 95%, we don't open on Saturdays. That's an incentive for our community manager and the leasing agent not to come to the office on Saturday, because we are full, kind of, 95, 97%.
If you get your job done, you get a day off.
Exactly. Isn't that great? Of course, in our company, we do have bonuses every 6 months. We give growth and performance bonuses to our team members, and around the holiday season, we do it. And then we do it one time in June. That's something. Of course, the medical and the dental and the vision and the 401. No, I don't think we have 401k, but we have profit sharing bonus, like we, like said. And the key thing is to build the morale of these team members at each community. It's so important that we make them feel special. So we do weekly meetings on Zoom, just like this one. And my daughter, Monica, is very much involved in our business along with our team leader, and senior managers and all. And we have set time with every community that they do meetings for half an hour to 45 minutes. And we have Google Sheets. My daughter, actually, we used to have a lot of different reports, by the way, in our company. But now they were like 5-7 different reports that everybody had to fill out. Each community, they were different reports. So when my daughter took over, she combined them all into Google Sheets. And that's the best thing. If any of the listeners would like to get that, you may have to pay a little bit, but you will be so far ahead, to get that. But the thing is, it's in real time. As the community manager updates these different tabs, she put them on. We get all the Monday morning reports, all the delinquencies, the concessions, the price sheets, the marketing plans, the CapEx. Everything is all done very nicely. The renovation schedules, you name it. Everything is in that Google Sheet. And that's amazing because it's 24 hours. It's 24 hours and it's on the, internet. And the best thing is that, it just keeps us abreast of everything that's happening at the community. And of course, we use a software, Alicia, also called Rent Manager. RentManager, Rent Manager. There are a lot of different softwares. Appfolio is another one. RealPage, one site is another one. Yardi is another one. They are great softwares.
I'll have you email me that list, and I can include that too in the show notes.
Okay, sure. I would love to.
And I'll attach it to this one, so that way, if everybody has questions about that, they can jump on themselves.
Totally. And those are the software. It's again on the internet, 24/7 logins. And the best thing is it combines the leasing, the residence, the accounting, the occupancy, the financial reports, everything in one package. And that's what we like, because everything in one place, we can pull out reports like this. We can enter the data. We have scanners at every community. Our community manager never has to go to the bank. We never take any money in cash at our communities. Always has to be money order, or they have to pay by their debit card online. We love that. Several of our communities, people pay 70% of the residents pay online. It's amazing. And we have debit cards, or they're, linking their account, bank account to the, pay the rent like that, all that stuff. The good thing is we make it convenient for the residents. And that's what the main thing is. We need to be always looking at different things, how we can make job easier for the residents to have a great experience, for our community manager to be excited and motivated, and then the leasing agents and assistant managers to be filling the job descriptions. So we have all that. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And that's how you're controlling the expectations too, with the Google Sheets spreadsheet, and also with using, the different softwares that you mentioned earlier.
Sure.
I do have one more question. I always ask you for a piece of advice, but before I get to that, I want to ask one question. Do you ever find that when you guys take over a property that you lose tenants?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, my gosh, Alicia, what happens is, the thing is, this is the truth now. I'm going to tell everybody. When the property is going through sale, it takes about 90 days to close, 90 to 120 days to close. So then when the seller gets a contract, they think that they have sold the property, but they should be held accountable to run the property for 90 days or 120 days. There are a lot of time there, right? And some of the sellers give up. They don't put any money into it. They don't take care of work orders that good. They let the, occupancy fall. They get some people, the criteria changes. They give more concessions. So that is something we have to be really aware of, because they want to make sure the collections are stable or increasing. Otherwise, the buyer won't get the loan. So that's the fact of life. So we do find as we take over the asset, few people are at the end of the lease and so forth. Some were there, they shouldn't be there, all that. So occupancy goes down. Yes, it does a little bit. But then the key thing is to have strategic action to make sure we have already designed the flyers and the website.
To do the marketing to bring it back up.
The marketing leg has
and we're going to actually, I'm going to actually put that down in my notes. So we're going to talk about that, about marketing, after they have acquired the property to keep it.
Totally.
My notes. But while I'm writing that down, can you give me, I always like to ask for your advice at the end of each show. So talk to me, give me some advice, give your students some advice and people listening about how to deal with property management and when dealing with them.
Oh, sure. See, the thing is now property management companies are also good and bad. So you got to find the golden one. It's hard. You may find one, but if they are not doing the things, they are not bringing you up to date, they are not really being very progressive, then walk away, cut that down, and you should write it with them that they could terminate the contract for 1 month notice. Don't go for a year contract locked in, things like that. Secondly, try to really get in touch with them and you spend more time along with learning the techniques, I call it. The new people should really spend more time and hold them accountable. You got to hold them accountable. Make sure that they tell you about $500 or more expense that they go through you, rather than them just carte blanche spending your money. And then at the end of the month, you say, oh my gosh, where is the cash flow? So you want to put, controls on them. The big thing is talk to the owners and let them know, hey, you're going to be purchasing more in that area. And many of these property management companies, by the way, will do the due diligence for free. Because we do have to do the due diligence during this purchase process, right? So if you get a good, solid property management company that you like and you have asked them questions, vetted them, and you like their philosophy, what software they use, how they handle money, how you can control what they are doing, things like that, and how much they charge for leasing, how much they charge for CapEx, the contractors, when they send to your property, how will they be billing you in real time and real cost, not fudging, things like that. A lot of things go into managing the asset because we've been doing it for 12 years. It's amazing. The key thing I would like to tell the students is get down and dirty, yourself to get along and learn the techniques, because then you can scale up. Even for next property, you may need just a small one to start hiring a community manager for 20 units, 30 units who could be resident. You give them discount in the community, but then you can have them work for you personally, But the thing is, you want to get somebody great. That's the key, who knows the law of fair housing and everything, all that stuff.
No, I'm sorry. So I was just writing down some notes because it's something I actually want to dig in deeper back on the podcast we did last week about property management.
Sure.
That we can kind of dig in a little bit more about how to manage them. But because you have your own team, but we're talking about people who are participating to the business. But all right, guys, you just heard your weekly syndication golden nugget from Mr. Smiles, Vinney Chopra. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I will also make sure that we include all of those different rent companies that are the software companies that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then also all the information to get a hold of Mr. Chopra. Make sure that you guys, tune in each week and learn how to take your syndication business to the next level. I hope you guys have a terrific week. Mr. Smiles always says, make it happen each day. Be sure to, check out his website at vinneychopra.com. There you can sign up and do his academy. You can invest with him or you can partner with him. So definitely check that out. Thank you,
Alicia. Thank you so much. Again, guys, tune in and share this podcast on your social media. Let's lot more people. Let's make it a better world. Syndication world is the great world. It's governed by SEC ruling, Securities and Exchange Commission ruling. I like it. transparency and truthfulness, and making the solid foundation is so important, not only in acquisition but also in management. So see you next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Be sure to listen to Mr. Smiles next week with more golden nuggets and top-notch coaching tips. You can reach him by going to vinneychopra.com or texting the word syndication to 474747. Be sure to like, comment, and share to show everyone how Mr. Smiles has brought your apartment syndication business to the next level.